What's up, everybody? I have a request here that I'm going to do today. Um, it's "Runaway" by POOBON. I do have my coffee. I'm still working on the cup that I made earlier. Don't worry. Um, I have read the lyrics to this. They're posted in the description, and I translated them. I don't know how good that is. I have maybe a vague idea. This seems about this is a struggle song, seems to be. I don't really know anything about the artist other than they're sort of new and they seem to be popular to a degree abroad. I saw some comments in English, so that usually means they have at least crossed over a little bit into maybe American, Iranian, like expat communities. A couple things before we get started. As always, I'm not a professional, nor do I speak Farsi, so please don't judge me too harshly on that. And don't be a dick. It's okay if you disagree with me. It's okay if I like a song and you don't like it, or vice versa. But let's try to keep it respectful. We're all adults here. If you want to share information with me, I'm happy to learn. I always really appreciate it when people are willing to take time and share stuff with me that I may not be able to find out on my own. So I always appreciate that. And I think that'll do it. So let's get into it. This is "Runaway" by POOBON. I like that. I like that a lot. I really like that beat. I'm a little bit of a EDM, trap, drum and bass head, so I really do like music that incorporates that. Yeah, I like this one. Something I was thinking about. I did the Dorchi, a couple of Dorchi songs recently, and I think it was Zahat who commented that he was arrested by the police, I guess, the Iranian police, and sort of disappeared for a little while. But he decided to stay in Iran, and it's hard, right? It's hard because I bring that up because I think this song is dealing with sort of similar ideas. But it's hard because you love where you are, you love where you live, the people, the culture. I don't, I'm not like crazy about America, but I don't want to be told to leave, um, because this is where I live. This is where my family is. This is where generations of my family are. This is where the people that look like me and talk like me are. And I love to travel. I love to see new things, but this is my home, right? And when you're being told that your life is going to be either you risk going to jail, or I guess worse, possibly, or you can leave. You want a third choice, right? You don't want to be forced to leave in order to be safe. You want to be able to be safe where you are. And that is currently not true for everybody in Iran, for a lot of people in Iran, especially for musicians and artists. And it is true that throughout much of history, artists have been at the forefront of social movements, right? Because protest songs, protest chants, protest art is a lot easier to get behind than lectures and books. You may not have access to a book, right? People would talk about reading Capital by Marx, or stuff by Foucault, or by Franz Fanon, right? Their work is excellent and worth reading, certainly, but it's a lot harder to get people on the fence, right? Just normal citizens. It's harder to get them invested in a several hundred-page book that's been translated from the original. It's harder to get people interested in that than it is to get people interested in a chant or piece of art or piece of music that directly reflects the reality of what you're going through. And what you need for a movement against an oppressive government to work is widespread buy-in, right? You need the normal people who are not necessarily political firebrands, right? Not necessarily the people who are in the streets throwing Molotovs. You need the normal people who'd like go to school and come home and do their homework, or go to university, or go work at their day job at the bank or the coffee shop or the kebab place or whatever, right? You need those people to be on board. And it's a lot easier to get those people on board with music or art than it is with homework, basically. Which is also why in totalitarian, tyrannical, authoritarian regimes, you see such a crackdown on what sort of messaging is allowed in music, what sort of art is allowed, because they can't allow people to get ideas, because ideas are dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that Dorchi or POOBON are going to be the ones that, spark the revolution. I don't think they would say they are the ones. But I would say what they are doing, and I don't know about POOBON, I don't know how politically active this group is. I'm really probably mostly referring to Dorchi here. I don't know how politically active they are. But when you start to question the government, and the government reacts by putting you in jail, that's a sign that they're concerned. And hopefully the artists can survive. I remember one of the earliest videos I did about Persian music was Shervin. And I don't know what's happened to him. I know he was in jail. I don't know if he's been released since then, if he's been released and re-imprisoned. But that was a song that was making people motivated, right? And the government was nervous about it. So I think that uh, I think that it's a shame for people to have to make the decision to either leave the place they love, despite the government, right? There are lots of good things about Iran that aren't governmental. The history, the local products, right? Food, the local delicacies, all that stuff. The environment, the desert, the mountains, all that. You don't want to leave that. You want to be able to love it and be safe. And I am hopeful that someday that is a reality for people maybe who look more like me. Not skin color wise, you understand, but like more alternative, less traditional. Um, I hope that future can come soon. I also, on a less serious note, I am jealous. I am jealous because I see them, you know, puffing on that green stuff, and I'm jealous that this is a part of the world where you can get like you can get the stuff that has been growing there for like thousands of years. The Afghani Kush, right? The that we call it Kush because of that strain, those genetics. Um, and it may not be any better than what I'm able to get in the U.S. legally, but I would like to get to sample that in sort of its native environment. Um, yeah, I would love to visit Iran someday and not do anything illegal. I want to be clear about that. I want to visit Iran just because I want to see it, and I want to see some of the history because I'm really interested in. Well, look, I got the book right here. I mean, this is an overview, obviously, and it's written by an English person, so I'm sure there's stuff that it misses out, but it's really mostly about the history of Cyrus, Darius, that period, the Sassanids, which is really interesting to me. The history of Iran is so rich and ancient. It, you know, people definitely people in America. I don't know about everywhere else, but definitely we don't understand sort of the deep history in that part of the world. And I would love to be able to experience it for myself. So whenever somebody wants to buy me a plane ticket and make sure that my visa gets approved, I will be over there like that. I think that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap this up. This is a great song. Thank you for recommending it. I really enjoyed the beat and enjoyed the music. Have a good day. Stay safe, everybody. Be kind to each other. Free Palestine. And don't talk to cops.